Hello, welcome to WayPoint Survival. Today I'm going to show you how to turn this can into this candle lantern. Stay tuned. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a 16-penny nail and we're going to put a hole in the can on exactly opposite sides of each other, about a 1/4 inch down. Pretty easy to do that. The tin is thin. You've watched my channel very long, you've seen me do this on other videos. Go ahead and push it through to the other side, making sure that it's exactly opposite. And then we go ahead and hammer that through, just like that. And that works really good. Kind of wobble that out a little bit to make sure that hole is big enough. And then you're going to have some sharp edges. And so what you want to do is you want to take your multi-tool or pliers and you want to just crimp this down so that's nice and smooth, so that doesn't bother your hand at all. Next we need about 1/2 of a clothes hanger, and we want to cut it off about here so we don't need that hook. Of course, put it in its proper place, and then we're going to straighten this wire out, and we can use the pliers to do that, and I will get back to you when I have that done. Once you have that relatively straight, you want to take the pliers and you will put a small hook in one end, just like that. See that? And then we're going to take the can and we're going to put it in one side like this. We're going to come down and we're just going to bend it here. It's like this at a 90. Go around the can using the can to form a circle like this. You'll have to probably do this a little bit more with your hands. About like that to make it fit. Right below the hole here, we're going to come up and we're going to do another 90-degree bend up like this. And the hole is right there, so we know we don't need quite that much wire, so we just trim it off. Again, make sure you pick up all these pieces and put them in a proper receptacle. And then we put a small hook on the other side like this, so it'll slide in, and then you crimp this on down with the pliers. Next we need an old 2-liter bottle, a Sharpie, our can, and you want one that's got more of a dome shape. So the rounder this is, the better off you are. Some of them are more elongated, so you want to put this in the center as best you can. Make sure that that's fairly equal, and then just draw a line all the way around the can. Pretty easy to do. Okay, we've got our line drawn. Next we take a utility knife and we cut out very carefully inside the black line. I'll do that and I'll get back with you when I'm done. When you're done, you'll have something that looks like this, and it should fit down inside perfectly. If it doesn't, take some scissors, trim that carefully. There are some sharp edges on here. But what's great about this is these cheap taper candles from Walmart. They fit perfectly in there. Really nice and snug, like it was made for it. It's actually a pretty good candle holder just like that. But we're going to cut this out and we're going to make a better candle holder for our camping. Using the Sharpie, we want to come in front of where our bail handle is attached by about maybe a 1/4 inch, something like that, on each side. So what we're wanting to do is cut out only the front third of this particular can, and we also want to make sure and measure from the bottom up. When this goes into the bottom of the can, we want to make sure that this doesn't stick out. This needs to be down flush, so we pick out a rib, and it looks like this rib right there is going to be the one that we want, so we'll make a mark just like this, and then we come down with our line, just kind of freehand draw it, and then kind of come over and kind of curve it around and make it a really nice smooth design, kind of like that. Now you can use gloves to do this because these do have sharp edges, but you know me, I don't use gloves that often. A little bit difficult to get this started, but I'll go ahead and I'll start cutting this, and then I'll get back with you when I get it done. You definitely want to take some sandpaper and smooth this all off, so when you're done you shouldn't be able to feel any sharp edges. Then you want to do a test fit. Put this down inside here, inside of those ribs, push it all the way to the bottom, and we have a good fit. It doesn't show up above the top, it's perfect height, it's all the way to the bottom. Now we need to fasten this to something. for stability, as well as to make sure that this doesn't just fall out with the candle in it. What we're going to use for that is a piece of cherry. This is that down cherry tree that I actually used some Y sticks for my last project. And it is slightly bigger than the bottom of the can. And that's going to form a really good solid base so that this isn't going to get easily blown over by the wind, cause a fire. And it'll also help it when we have the bail handle to hold steady so that it hangs level. Alright, what we're going to do is we're just going to take a drill and we're going to drill right down through all three of these down into the wood, and then we'll put a screw in it. So centering this, making sure this is exactly where it should be on our wood, and getting it right in the center as best we can. Alright, we've got that hole drilled, and in the bottom there, come out that side. And what we want to do is we want to use a small Phillips head screw. We want to make sure that the screw isn't too long for the piece of wood. So this one's about perfect. If it goes through these layers, it's going to give me a really good grip. So to do that, we're just going to take a long Phillips screwdriver, and we're going to start it in this first, and then we'll screw it into the wood. So you want to do this step first until it comes out the bottom. Alright, we see the screw starting to stick out. Then we made it to the wood. Find that hole, screw it together. Alright, if we've done that correctly, this is going to be really firm in here, attached firmly to our nice piece of wood. We've got our bail handle, which nests properly, and because of the curve, it also centers itself perfectly every time we want to hang it. We take our stub of a tapered candle. Of course, you can't use the big long ones, you have to break them. But go ahead and put that in there. And of course, we know that that fastens in really well. It's not going to fall out. I mean, it's actually really secure. So, pretty good deal there. Alright? Then we just light it. What's nice about this design is it's relatively windproof. You want to make sure the stub of your candle is low enough that the flame isn't too far above here. And the length of this handle is sufficient that as long as the flame is down there, it doesn't get your fingers. So you can actually carry this around without the heat bothering you. And here it is, our great little candle holder. And this is great. Just something about candlelight, especially this time of year. And of course, it's pretty sturdy with this heavier base on it. So you could even use this in the house. And it's got pretty good reflectivity from the inside of the can. And I think it's a fun project, something that you'll enjoy doing. This is James Bender for WayPoint Survival. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure and check out the links in the description box below, just under the down arrow. And while you're down there, you'll also find our WayPointSurvival.com link. And this is where you can sign up to take great survival and bushcraft training classes here at our beautiful facility in Southern Ohio. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. And when you do subscribe, make sure and press that bell button so that you can stay notified of all of our upcoming videos, and we'll talk to you next time.